Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Jillian Fortner.
Good Tuesday morning. We're waking up to a gorgeous sunrise. Just take a look over at our Aubrey Butte camera right now. You can see it right there. It looks like temperatures are a little chilly at the moment. We're seeing mostly 40s and 50s in the region. We're seeing 45 in Redmond, 48 right now in Bend, and 38 in La Pine. So let's see what is happening today. Well, according to our headlines, we're going to continue to see that warm weather today. We're staying dry and we're seeing those temperatures in the 80s. Also going to be a little breezy as well, but we're going to heat up quickly because once we get to the 4th of July, which is on Thursday, that's when we're going to see temperatures in the 90s, and we're going to continue to heat up as we head even closer to the weekend. We could be seeing temperatures rise up into the triple digits, but today we're just going to stay warm, and we're seeing those temperatures in the 80s across the region for all around. We're seeing 80 in southern Deschutes County in areas like La Pine and Sun River. 83 is going to be the high in Bend today. We're seeing 82 in areas like Sisters and Prineville. So this is warm for us, but we are just going to continue to see that heat wave as we move into later in the week. So we are seeing an excessive heat watch for areas to the south of our region right here. So we're seeing it going to affect areas like Klamath County, Lake County, and they're going to be expecting temperatures in through the mid 90s to triple digits. And although we're not included in this, I do expect us to still be eventually added to this because we are going to be seeing those temperatures in the triple digits pretty soon. So this is going to be extended period of heat, which could be dangerous for people's health and also fire danger. So just be cautious with this heat wave coming in through the next couple of days, and always make sure to stay hydrated as well. Looks like this is what we're going to be seeing. Typically at this time of year, we're seeing those temperatures in the 80s. So when we're getting to areas like 102, 100 on Saturday and Sunday, that's a 20-degree jump. So that is quite significant. And then we are in the 90s on Thursday and Friday. So still, it's not the hundreds, but it's getting pretty warm that day too. So just keep that in mind if you do have any outdoor plans. And although we're warmer than normal, what else is warmer than normal is the water over the Atlantic. We've been tracking Hurricane Bureau, which was a Category 4 hurricane. Now it is strengthened to a Category 5 storm. So this is actually the most catastrophic level, and this means winds, our sustained winds are above 157 miles an hour. And right now, as you can track its journey, we can see it heading towards Jamaica on Wednesday. They do have a hurricane warning over in that area as well, and they're expecting a lot of heavy rainfall and flash flooding. And it looks like as we move through the rest of the week, we're going to continue to see the storm weaken with some winds changing directions and speed, also seeing some more dry air coming the way. So for us, let's see, we're going to be seeing those temperatures in the 80s at least into Wednesday, 4th of July. We're seeing 90s, and then we're going to continue to see a heat up as we head into the weekend.
Wow, 102.
Yeah, it's getting pretty warm.
Be careful with your animals as well. Make sure
definitely.
They're hydrated. Well, fighting wildfires can be an extremely dangerous job. It is fire season.
Yes.
So let's take some time to honor these highly trained first responders today for National Wildland Firefighter Day. Wildfires burn millions of acres across the U.S. each year, and over the last 3 decades, the number of homes destroyed by these fires has more than doubled. These blazes can be difficult to get to, and equipment has to be brought in, and that's why wildland firefighters are often trained in activities like air support and smoke jumping.
Yeah, especially like at this time of year, it's so hot, so dry. They're needed more than ever. And with the Darling 3 fire, I know it's 100% contained. And that means the fire is still burning, but they've done so much hard work over the past few days.
So much hard work. I mean, what bravery to walk towards the flames instead of away from them. So
exactly.
Thank you so much for your service. After the break, the Bend elk season is going pretty well. Are some local talent behind the upswing? Plus, we see what summer activities await for you and your family at Mount Bachelor. It's 21 minutes past the hour. We'll be right back.
Trustworthy, reliable. These are titles that are earned, not given. And for over 45 years, Severson has made it their mission to earn your trust. They put people, relationships, and community first. With free estimates, fair, honest, and transparent pricing, and old-school customer service, Severson gives you the confidence that their work is done right. Severson, how can we help you today?
An unwelcome house guest.
My mother has been living with me on and off
for 8 years.
And 2 daughters.
My mom tried to sell me for drugs when I was an infant.
Who want her out.
I'm working on me. Go work on you in someone else's home then. I stopped maturing when I started using. How can I be a good parent? Figure it out. Ask Google. Ask Alexa.
Or if it got desperate, you could ask Dr. Phil.
On the next Dr. Phil.
Season 19, the talent is insane.
I've never seen anything like this.
Thank you.
I never have done this before. I'm a little scared.
We have a medic on standby.
AGT, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Let's get this money, baby.
Tonight.
The password is Girdle.
To be a whiz at password, you gotta aim high.
Myrtle.
If you get this, I'll give you $25,000 right now.
New Password, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
News Channel 21 Sports Report is brought to you by Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
The Bend Elks have seen some success this season. Dylan Anderman met with 3 local players on the team.
It's been like a dream as a little kid, just coming out here when I was younger, watching all the Elks games, and now being a part of it, it's pretty cool.
Caleb Karpstein, a Bend High alum, is one of 3 Central Oregon athletes playing for the Bend Elks this summer.
My family, all their friends, they all text me, ask when I'm playing. They'll chirp me here from the beer garden, heckle me a little, and then I got my friends texting me if they can get on the guest pass list. It's pretty cool that they come out and support.
Karpstein is an infielder for the Elks and Northwest Nazarene. He is joined by 2 pitchers. 2023 graduate Simon Lemke, who is returning for the Elks for the 2nd straight year.
I mean, nothing beats summer ball in your hometown.
And recent Summit grad Finn Edwards.
Grew up watching Elks games all the time, and so, always wanted to be an Elk, and then now I got the opportunity over the past summer to do it, and so yeah, I mean, it was an instant yes, and it's been nothing but perfect for me.
Simon is transferring to a new school this year and hopes to make his dreams come true.
I just grew up around baseball and just learned to love the game. I've always had so much fun playing it, and it's just like, it's always been a dream to play at a high level. Obviously the MLB is the dream.
Finn was committed to Oregon State, but due to an injury, he had to change his plans headed into his college career.
But they didn't think I was ready to compete, and so now I'm heading out to Iowa West. I wanted to go somewhere that I knew I was going to play, knew I was going to compete at a high level.
In the other dugout this weekend, Cal Pickart, another Mountain View Cougar, made his Vince Genna debut.
It's exciting. I was talking to my buddy earlier, and I said, we used to look up to the Elks so much our whole lives and think that they were just the best baseball players ever, and now getting to share a field with them will be pretty special.
And for the 3 Elks, they went to different high schools and different colleges, but now they get to share the field as teammates on a team that means more than most.
It's been awesome. It's been a special ride since I could remember playing, and this has always been like a goal, playing college baseball and playing in the West Coast League. It's always been a goal of mine, and it's just something I'll never forget once I'm all done.
The Elks are back home this weekend as they face off against the Yakima Valley Pippins. They are currently 3rd in the South Division with a 13-11 record. Dylan Enderman, News Channel 21.
With July here, summer activities at Mount Bachelor are back for the whole family. Kelsey McGee looks at all the outdoor recreating.
Ski season has come to an end, but that doesn't mean Mount Bachelor is closed. Mount Bachelor just recently opened up for its summer season.
Glad they're finally open, and the few trails they have open are in great shape, and you get to bike all among the snow.
There really is something for everyone up at Mount Bachelor this summer.
On Thursday, Mount Bachelor kicked off summer opening weekend with mountain biking, zip tours, scenic chair rides, sunset dinners, and hiking. Here are the prices for zipline rides. 48 hours in advance is $89 and day of is $99. As well as prices for the downhill mountain bike park, single day all mountain, and Little Pine Bike Park passes and tickets. You can get an adult all-mountain bike park day ticket at the window for $69, while a summer ride on the chairlift for same-day booking for an adult is $28.
You don't have to be a hardcore mountain biker. You can come up, take a scenic chairlift ride, enjoy a drink or a bite to eat mid-mountain. It is a beautiful time of year up there.
There are currently 2 lift tickets and 8 trails open in the bike park.
Really looking forward to going up on the chairlift and getting to the top of the mountain and then seeing that beautiful view of the Three Sisters and the whole Cascade Range.
Comparing seasons, winter is Bachelor's busier season, operating from November to the end of May. General parking in the West Village, Sunrise, and Skyliner lots is always free, and spots are available on a first-come, first-served basis.
We see a ton of skiers and riders come through from all over the country. Summer, while there are more activities to do, it's definitely not as busy on a day-to-day basis as it is in the ski season.
Before you head to Mount Bachelor, be sure to check the Mountain Report at mountbachelor.com. You can see what is open each day as the bike park expands. Kelsey McGee, News Channel 21.
One of my favorite things about Bend is that it is all year round.
I know.
Winter, summer, at Mount Bachelor, you can do anything.
Exactly. And
you did the zip tour.
I did do the zip tour and highly recommend. An experience of a lifetime. Never done it before in my life anywhere.
Were you scared?
Yes, I was a little scared, but it was a lot of fun. I don't have any regrets. And I faced my fears. Always a good thing.
Good job.
Well, here's a look at some of the current conditions right now. We're seeing temperatures ranging from the high 30s all the way to the high 50s. We're seeing 48 degrees in Bend at the moment, 38 down in Lapine, and 59 up in Warm Springs. And we're going to stay on the warm side today. We're going to be dry and also seeing those breezy conditions once again, which should help with those warmer temperatures. We're seeing 80s across the region with 82 in Sisters and Prineville, 80 down in southern Deschutes County in Lapine and Sun River, 83 is going to be the high in Bend, and 89 up in Warm Springs. And there's an excessive heat watch that we're keeping an eye on that's going to take place on Thursday, and it's not in our region yet. It is going to be to the south of us, but I wouldn't be surprised if we are added on to this because we are going to see those temperatures in the 90s to 100s pretty soon.
Coming up, we'll break down Monday's Supreme Court ruling for former President Trump's immunity claim. It's 29 minutes past the hour now. News Channel 21 at Sunrise continues after the break.
When it comes to local pests, you need local solutions. And no one knows what bugs the high desert like Terminix of Central Oregon. We're here, in the community, giving homeowners a sound peace of mind with guaranteed protection against every pest threat. Give us a call today to get started. Big name, local service. Terminix of Central Oregon.
What's stopping you from learning new things or restoring old ones? How about building a business, going exploring, or starting a new chapter? Wherever you're trying to go, we can help you get there. On Point. People are the point.
On the next Cameron Hall, a daytime exclusive with actress Jennifer Lewis. She gets personal about the accident that nearly took her life. Jennifer Lewis's emotional story from fear to remarkable recovery. Then Ronda Rousey pulls no punches in her new memoir and why she says she's never returning to the ring. Plus, Elizabeth Hurley and her son Damien are here. What was it like directing his mom in his first ever movie? Next Cameron Hall.
What's your story? What do you want to tell people? News Channel 21 Creative Services can help. Take the stage for the largest audience in Central Oregon. With our tools and our talent, you can be bigger, reach further, bend every ear. Your success is our success. News Channel 21 Creative Services. Let us tell your story.
Brought to you by Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza. Now, from Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21 at Sunrise.
Well, good morning and welcome back to News Channel 21 at Sunrise. I'm Lindsay Harris. We're joined now by Jillian Fortner again for a warm weekend coming up.
Oh yeah, not even warm. It's gonna get hot because we're gonna see those temperatures in the triple digits, it looks like in some areas. But here's a look at this morning. It's actually still a little bit chilly out there. I'm seeing some areas still in the upper 30s, but at least we have a beautiful sunrise outside, as you can see from our Bend Airport camera right now. And here's a look at the rest of the morning. It looks like temperatures are going to be rising into the upper 50s around 8 a.m. in Bend, and then eventually making that rise into the upper 60s around 10, and also seeing the gorgeous views over by our Aubrey View camera as well. And let's take a look at those road conditions. So things have been pretty dry for the past couple of days. You know, not a lot of rain over the next couple of days is expected, so we're going to continue to see those dry conditions. So no concerns as you head out the door. No smoke concerns as well either. So Bend, Sisters, all the way to Prineville, everything is looking good. And then over the next 12 hours, we are going to see temperatures rise into the 80s across the region. We can kind of see the 80s come in around 1 p.m. and we're going to be staying there at least until 5 in the evening. Seeing lots of sunshine today, not too much cloud cover as well. And here's a look at some of our highs. We're seeing 83 in Bend, 80 for the high in La Pine and Sun River, and 85 in Madras and Redmond.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories beyond Central Oregon this Tuesday, July 2nd. Representative AOC says she will be filing articles of impeachment on the Supreme Court justices. She did not specify which justices she will include, and in a statement, AOC said the Supreme Court has become, quote, consumed by a corruption crisis beyond its control. This comes in the aftermath of the Supreme Court's decision to give former President Donald Trump partial immunity in some cases against him. AOC did not specify whether the articles will be privileged. If so, the House would have to consider them in 2 legislative days. Monday, the Supreme Court declined to hear a case about laws in Texas and Florida meant to protect conservative viewpoints on social media. Those laws were blocked by lower court decisions in the Blockbuster dispute. The Supreme Court's decision not to hear the appeals means the laws will remain blocked for now. This delays a final ruling on the constitutionality of state laws preventing online platforms from moderating their own websites. Lower courts will now have to sort out the major constitutional questions involved. Monday, the Republican-led House Judiciary Committee sued Attorney General Merrick Garland for access to audio recordings of interviews with President Biden and his ghostwriter. The interviews were part of a former special counsel Robert Hur's investigation into Biden's mishandling of classified records. President Biden said he inadvertently retained documents from his time as vice president during the Obama administration. Hur's taped interviews were key in his decision not to charge the president criminally. The Supreme Court issued its ruling in the Blockbuster dispute over whether former President Donald Trump may claim immunity from special counsel Jack Smith election subversion charges. Julia Benbrook joins outside the Supreme Court to break down Monday's ruling.
The Supreme Court ruled Monday that Donald Trump may claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some of the actions he took in the waning days of his presidency.
They gave the president far more immunity than I think many of us had predicted. And I think what's even more notable here is the number of questions that they left open.
The decision says presidents have immunity for official acts, but not all acts are official, and lower courts must decide which acts qualify for each. This will likely further delay a trial on the federal election subversion charges pending against the former president.
Jack Smith's federal case relating to 2020 election subversion, this now goes back to the district court, which has to hold a factual hearing to decide what was in the scope or out of the scope of the job. That in itself is appealable.
In the majority opinion, Chief Justice John Roberts embraced one of the central themes raised by Trump's team, that allowing prosecutors to look back at actions would potentially hurt a president's ability to do their job. The decision was 6-3 along conservative liberal lines. Justice Sonia Sotomayor did not hold back in her dissent, writing that the ruling could lead to nightmare scenarios. Let the president violate the law. Let him exploit the trappings of his office for personal gain. Let him use his official power for evil ends. Because if he knew that he may one day face liability for breaking the law, he might not be as bold and fearless as we would like him to be. That is the majority's message today. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Coming up this half hour, studies show taking an aspirin daily might not be good for the elderly.
Plus, temperatures are going to be in the 90s to 100s a little bit later this week. I'm tracking the upcoming heat wave in my full forecast.
And hear why the new Alzheimer's diagnosis criteria is getting backlash. It's 37 minutes after the hour. You're watching News Channel 21 at sunrise.
The the News Channel 21 Local Alert Weather app. All your need-to-know local weather information in one reliable source. Completely customizable. Prioritize the information that is important to you. Complete 7-day and weekend local forecasts and the most current weather videos from your News Channel 21 weather team. Always have accurate local weather forecasts. Download the News Channel 21 weather app, brought to you by Central Oregon Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. Great news! You can stay in the know wherever you go by downloading the News Channel 21 app. If you get the app, you'll get the alert. Whether it's breaking news, weather warnings, or live streams, all the latest information is right at your fingertips. Go to the App Store, type in KTVZ News, and hit download. Then turn on your notifications. Take News Channel 21 with you, wherever you go. This is your news, Central Oregon. This is News Channel 21.
Being a big is awesome. I love being a big sister. We just have a lot of fun together. My little reminds me a lot of myself when I was 11.
Bella brings so much joy and laughter and light to my life. We have so much fun together, and I just am inspired by her constantly.
There's no time like now to give your time back to someone who could really use it and benefit from it, and you'll have more fun than you would ever know.
She's really changed my life.
21 cares for kids.
It's long been seen as a preventative tool for cardiovascular disease. In the past 5 years, recommendations on low-dose aspirins have changed.
Yes, and a new study suggests some seniors still take daily aspirin, risking their health. Mandy Gaither reports on the potential dangers of unnecessary daily aspirin use.
It's a decades-long belief that seems to be taking some time to debunk. Historically, aspirin has been seen as a tool to help prevent heart disease.
What happened a few years ago was that clinical trial data revealed that in older adults, the benefits of aspirin may not outweigh the risks of aspirin.
In 2019, the American College of Cardiology and the American Heart Association updated their guidelines to say that aspirin should be used infrequently to prevent a first heart attack or stroke for those with no history of cardiovascular disease.
Aspirin is a blood thinner, so it affects platelet function, so it affects clotting and increases the risk of bleeding.
Dr. Ashish Sharaju with Cleveland Clinic is one of the authors of a new study looking at daily aspirin use across the U.S. since the recommendation changed. They found that in 2021, about 1 in 3 patients 60 and older who did not have a history of heart disease were still taking aspirin every day for prevention. Based on that data, they project about 3 million of those people across the U.S. were taking it without medical advice.
If you have heart disease, oftentimes aspirin is required, and stopping aspirin without the doctor's advice is dangerous. But if you're taking aspirin in the absence of heart disease, it's something that no one's advised you to do, and you're 60 years or older, it's time to have a discussion. Disclose that to your doctor.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The nonprofit Alzheimer's Association has published its final version of the new diagnostic criteria for the disease. For the first time, it calls on doctors to rely on biomarkers from lab tests or brain scans rather than pen and paper tests of memory and thinking. They say the change is meant to catch the condition earlier. This also means people could be diagnosed with Alzheimer's based on blood tests alone. Outside experts and drug industry watchdog groups have criticized the criteria change, saying people can have biomarkers without ever developing dementia symptoms.
Wildly Beloved Foods has recalled dozens of packages of dried pasta because of potential mold growth contamination. The pasta in question includes vegan dried orzo and dried campanelli sold to various stores in Washington state. The company says the products were under-dried and had the beginning signs of mold. No illnesses have been reported, and consumers who purchase the affected products should return them for a full refund. Still to come, find out some of the busiest traveling days you might want to prepare for or avoid if you're traveling for the 4th.
And it looks like we're going to be in the 80s once again today, as you can see a little bit later this afternoon, but it's going to get pretty hot, especially on the 4th of July. And we're going to talk about that upcoming heat wave in my full forecast. Don't go anywhere yet.
A
Imagine a world where no one is left out, lonely, or treated like they don't matter. Imagine a world where children aren't hiding under desks, but leading us to a better world. Jesus showed us such a world is possible. We at First Presbyterian practice a spacious Christianity, where we believe love wins. And if love isn't winning, the story isn't over. Come, be part of the story. Join us Saturdays on NBC at 5 p.m. or Sundays on CW at 11 a.m.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day's start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too.
Serious side effects may include ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of infection in your legs or feet. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Central Oregon, don't miss Family Feud weekdays at 7:30 on KTVZ.
Now, Central Oregon's local alert weather with Jillian Fortner.
Happy Tuesday, and we're looking at another gorgeous sunrise over by the Prineville Reservoir. It looks like we do have a nice warm day ahead of us with temperatures once again going to be in the 80s, but we are going to get pretty hot soon, so just listen up. But right now we are seeing those temperatures rise into the 40s and 50s right now is what we're seeing. 48 is where we're at in Bend. We're seeing 45 in areas like Sisters and Redmond, 36 in La Pine, so it's a little chilly over there at the moment. And then looking at 50s in Warm Springs. So here's what's happening over the next few days. We're going to continue to see that warm pattern for a couple days, still staying pretty dry and warm, also seeing those breezy conditions. But once we hit Thursday, which is the 4th of July, that's where we're going to see those temperatures hit the 90s, and we're just going to continue to get hotter as we head into the weekend. It looks like some areas could be heading up into the triple digits. But here's a look at today. Our afternoon highs going to be in the 80s across the region. We're seeing 82 in Sisters and Prineville, 80 degrees down in Sun River and La Pine. It's going to be a high of 85 over in areas like Madras and Redmond. So it's going to be a nice warm day to get outside. But we do have an excessive heat watch coming, and this is going to be for areas to the south of us. It starts Thursday, which is 4th of July, and is expected to last through Sunday. So they're expecting temperatures in the mid-90s to 100. So this extended period of heat, they just want us to be careful. And although we are not included in the red for this excessive heat watch, I would not be surprised if we are added to this, because we are going to see those triple-digit temperatures coming our way pretty soon. So during this time, remember to just stay hydrated, and also with the heat could create some health issues and create some fire risks as well. So always practice good fire safety during this time of year. It's very hot and very dry out there. So just keep that in mind. And also, looking ahead, this is what we're going to be expecting over the next 7 days. We're usually in the 80s at this time of year, so for the next few days, we're kind of around where we should be, and then eventually seeing that jump into the 90s. We're getting above that, and then it looks like 100 degrees on Sunday. That's about a 20-degree jump, so it is quite high for us at this time of year. Also looks like we could be breaking some records with our heat as well. Also, what's warmer than normal is the water over in the Atlantic, and this is fueling the Hurricane Bureau. So we've been tracking this over the past couple of days. We can kind of see its progression, and it's turned into a Category 5 hurricane, which means there's sustained winds above 157 miles an hour. And we are seeing on Wednesday that Jamaica has a hurricane warning in effect, so they could be expecting some heavy rainfall and flash flooding in the area. But it looks like as it progresses, it's going to become weaker as they get some shear wind and some dry air over the area. So looking at the next couple of days for us, we're going to be in the 80s at least until Wednesday, seeing 90s on 4th of July, and then in temperatures in the triple-digit range on Saturday and Sunday. That's a look at your local alert weather.